Yeah.
You just got to keep going. I think people get to the point where they've earned some credibility and then they're like, okay, it's not moving as fast as I want it to, or they have slow periods, so they stop. You have to keep moving.
Absolutely.
And keep creating. He's the king of creating. So what was your famous line you said, isolation is creation?
Yeah, you have to isolate to create.
And what does this mean?
So sometimes you have to step away, especially being a New Yorker. It's the hustle and bustle. Sometimes the greatest thing is just to isolate. So get away from the social light of things and create. It's very simple.
Someone asked me a question. What would you say to your younger self if she was sitting next to you? And I'm curious to ask you, what would you say if a little baby Castell JRXOYOZ Barnes was sitting in front of you right now?
You can't take education out of the equation. I feel like a lot of people, formal, informal, try to maneuver and find their way around situations.
So do we have a
very education based? It's 1,000%. Yeah.
What does it take to publish a hardcover book these days? And you can put your hands on it, actually read it. There's something novel and great about that because people get their literature and everything else so many different ways these days. Why this? And you're actually holding that book in your hand. It's something, to me, I still buy a newspaper. Yeah. Not every day, but I still do. There's something just very charming and nice about that. I'm not really getting my news from the internet. I don't feel it's very personal. Do you feel that way being a young man?
I like hands-on.
Yeah.
And then even before I published the book, because I had to be my own self-publisher at this point.
Did you? Mm-hmm.
Still like 75% of books that are being bought are still hard copies. And then 95% of all books being bought on Amazon.com.
Tell them to Barnes and Noble, who have gone at it. There's still one in the city, but man, there used to be a great place just to hang out and just relax and read. You can't find them anymore. It's a great place in New Jersey that was right on Route 46 where I grew up, and it used to be there. And I went over there to go in there and browse for a while. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world. Shelly's a part of this world. I kind of moved out of this world a while back. No, I'm kidding. Shelly's a big part of this world. What is your presence on social media, and how much of an impact does that have on your career?
Social media is everything.
Sad for me to hear. Why do you say that?
It's you create your own story.
Yeah.
Everything's calculative, but social media is it's low cost marketing, if not free. I feel like people are kind of getting on this wave now, but I think the technical term is low yield marketing. I'm very active on social, so anywhere from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, I'm super, super active. It's the fastest, safest, way to kind of...
Is it really safe?
It is safe. No.
Okay.
Depending on what you put
you're saying safe, in what way do you mean safe? Seriously.
It's seamless. Like
you can control it.
You can control it.
Okay, so nobody, you're putting on your content that you made, and that's it, as is.
Absolutely.
Nobody screws around with it. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, like he said, I mean, it is about what you put out. You're so in control of your own content, your pictures that, some of these women, they portray this image and they're like, well, why am I having this type of audience come to me? Well, look at what you're posting.
Right.
Yes, I get lots of messages with creepy sayings, but do I reply to them? No. I'm not going to waste my time with that. It's not part of my brand. But with Castell, what I see him doing is he celebrates other people with his brand. He brings other people holding his book saying, hey, look, this person from this read this and they make me feel like this. And so these ladies are like, Castell, I love you. So that's cherishable. And I think that's what makes his brand grow is he brings other people with him. And I think that's a gift all in itself.
Thank you so much. I mean, the biggest part is, again, which is we were talking, me and Shelly and I were talking last night via phone, and I was pretty much explaining to her that about 87%, if not like all of my people who buy my products are women. So,
is that true?
And then I don't think it speaks to, you're attractive or you dress nice. I think it's, just the full content that's being produced at this point. So I'm bringing people with me, and
That's quite 80% is quite big. Why do you think that is? Seriously now, why the female audience or readers?
Again, I feel not only I feel in social interaction and kind of going out and meeting people and going to different cities and countries, women are more eager to support a man for some reason. I don't
Interesting.
know. And then the double take, a lot of my content is entrepreneurial. It's go out and pursue your vision, and it's love. I feel women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs and people. So it's an entrepreneurial woman who wants more. But also, if she's not trying to improve her love status, she's looking for it. So I think I just speak to that audience.
Well, it's interesting. 81% in the word love is posted right here. Love and prosperity. And it's almost like the one thing that women's hearts are completely shattered by is love. So they either don't know whether to find it again, if they'll find it again. So it's like insight on maybe it's possible. Let me check this out. So I get it. I get it. And the book inside is so simple. It's not overwhelming to the eye. You're not like, oh gosh, another 12 pages of this. Can I find the good stuff? It's simple. And you made it clear and cut. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, how do you two know each other?
You can explain this.
So I have a friend, Syria Alvarez. Hey, Syria. She does a lot of modeling and fashion styling. She's like a big blogger, travel blogger as well. She referred me over to referred Shelly over to me because Shelly was looking for not so much enlightenment, but more so like affirmation or you're doing the right thing. So we connected on Facebook and we built this 2 years.
Well, I came to a point where it was like, whoa, I see, you can chime on with other people, but I had so many different ideas. I thought I want to just own everything myself. And that's what I started to slowly do. So when I found someone who did that, I was like, look, I'm going to start knocking on doors who actually have done it rather than people who say, I'm going to do it. Find people who have done it. And that's exactly what Costell's done. He doesn't take a thought and just let it sit on a paper. He's moving towards it into creating an action. And that's what people can learn from is action creates more action. Action creates results. An idea on a paper is nothing. You're just staring at it and it's looking at you going, please develop me.
That's true.
So when I spoke with him, he gave me a lot of insight. And part of your branding too is development, seminars. He goes and talks at different companies for leadership. I mean, he's well-rounded in the business. And on top of the book, I think it notes his insight on just documents, pages. But what do you think your main expertise is besides leadership? What do you think is I call it God-given talent?
Speaking and writing, it's dual. I think that ability to just speak to someone and just empower them is there automatically, and also writing. Like those are my two things. Like definitely speaking and writing. But I guess the caveat is self-development. Like if you're in a room with me, you're either going to be empowered or like I need to get my stuff together.
Now, here's a question. So social media, I want to tap back on this because I touched base on this last night. But for the people who spend all of their time making these posts, getting all these likes, and now companies are realizing when you do sit them in a room, they don't know how to do what they say.
Yeah.
So where's the cutoff with that? If you have 1.3 million followers, say, perhaps, and you bring it in like this makeup artist that explained she could do thousands of techniques, but copied them from YouTube, nobody knows because they look at a number, these ads and stuff that we're speaking about. So how do we, explain to us?
I mean, sometimes there's a disconnection because a lot of, I guess, corporate executives, you see it in the music industry, you see it in a lot of things. Like they don't want to develop artists anymore. It's very like, what's your following? Let me see your EPK, which is electronic press kit. I want you to come to me with 1.3 million followers already.
Before they even,
I even consider you. So, it's kind of like, you never know.
But don't you think it's backwards? Because the self-development part is so important and crucial to what you can deliver outside of a picture that I think it's hurting because nowadays, like in the past 10 years, where's our new artists? Where's our new Michael Jacksons?
Exactly.
I'm not talking about, no offense, The Weeknd. I love you. I respect you. The Weeknd is good. I like his music. But extreme auto-tune, and so Michael Jackson didn't have those tools back in the day.
Yep.
So it's like, where's the crisp, clean cut of raw, original talent without a filter? So that's where I'm a little skeptical of throwing myself constantly on this Instagram platform and spending all my time rather than sitting here devoting to my instrument and figuring out what can I do to make me better to give to the world.
That's exactly right. All the time you have to devote to that. Seems to me, I'm just me looking in, it's just a waste, and to a certain extent a waste, meaning that you're not developing yourself very much. You're developing, yes, you're honing, your craft as far as, am I able to attract people? You're not necessarily working on yourself and your person. This what we're doing right now. I can see you. I can see Shelly. You can see me, and we're doing the old-fashioned conversation.
Absolutely.
When it comes down to it, I don't think anything actually beats that. I think